What's going on, Bodybuilding.com team? Master Coach Zach Long here, and today we're going to talk about dips and shoulder pain. Dips are a fantastic exercise for building upper body strength, but the most common complaint we hear of individuals when they're doing dips is getting shoulder pain right in the front side of their shoulder. So we're going to go through a couple of tips and things to look at with your dip technique that will help reduce strain on the front side of the shoulder. So all of these things that we talk about apply whether we're doing dips on rings or on stable bars, but we're gonna demo on rings today. The first thing that I wanna look at as somebody dips is where their shoulder blades are. I wanna see that they kind of keep their shoulder blades packed backwards a little bit as they go down into the dip position. A lot of times what we'll see is as somebody descends down, we'll see that shoulder kind of dump forward. And that dump forward will put a lot of extra strain and pressure on the front side of the shoulder. So keep those shoulders back as you drop down into the dip. The next two things that we're gonna look at have to do with the position of the shoulder in relationship to the rings or where you're holding on to the bar. The further the rings are or your shoulder is from that base, the more stress we see on the shoulder joint. So we're gonna look at our torso position as well as our arms and what they do in the dip. As we do the dip, if we lean forward, and we tend to see people go chest down, that's gonna increase the distance between our shoulder and the rings or where we're holding on to bars. That will increase pressure on the shoulder itself. So if we want to reduce that stress, we're going to keep a bit more of an upright torso as we drop down into the dip. So I'm almost thinking of bringing my hands directly up my side as I drop down. Now I get it, there are different advantages from a muscle loading perspective to maybe leaning over a little bit, but if you're trying to avoid shoulder issues, that is a huge key to help you out. The second thing we want to look at is sometimes as people go down, we'll actually see those rings get pulled behind their body and not keeping it in line with their body. And again, that does the same thing where we increase the distance that our hands are from the shoulder. That's gonna put more stress on the anterior shoulder itself. So look at where the rings are, look at where your torso is. Also pay attention to your eyes, because one thing that we'll see is that individuals that don't look forward as they do dips, if they look down, their body's going to naturally follow their eyesight. So find something out in front of you and keep focused on that during the dip. The final thing that I like to look at when individuals are having shoulder pain with dips is their shoulder extension range of motion. So we often think of improving our overhead mobility or our chest flexibility out this direction, but very rarely do we look at shoulder extension range of motion. And if you don't have a whole lot, then your body's gonna end up doing a number of the things that we just talked about to allow you to get through more range of motion. So the way I like to test this is I like to stand and pull my shoulder blades back while my arms are out in front, and I make a fist, and then I'll pull my hands towards my side, almost like I'm doing a push-up or a bench press. And I wanna see, do we have enough range of motion that our knuckles can get in line with our arms? Because if so, that's a good amount of shoulder extension to drop down into that dip without having to make any of those compensations. So I hope these tips help you out if you struggle with dips and they give you shoulder pain. As always, stay tuned here at Bodybuilding.com as we give you more tips to help you build your body.